What do we need to be doing right now to prepare ourselves from that admin point of view?
Thank you so much, Naledi, for having me. So as you know, the filing season will officially open on Monday, the 15th of July, which is actually 2 weeks later than what we're used to. We're used to the filing season starting on the 1st of July, but this year it's starting 2 weeks later because SARS is issuing auto assessments to the simpler returns between the 1st and the 14th. So for those who don't qualify for that auto assessment population and who will be required to start submitting returns, it's important to start getting your financial information together. And what I mean by this is getting your RIP5s from your employers, getting your IT3s from the banks or from your medical aids and your retirement annuities. The mistake that we see people making is submitting the return, and only when SARS wants to audit and verify that information, they want to start collecting that information. It's important to have almost an audit pack ready before you submit the return so that you know that anything that you have declared in your income tax return, you are able to substantiate, and there are no delays in finalizing audits or SARS releasing refunds where those are due.
Okay, sure. And then who qualifies for auto assessments?
So the auto assessment population has grown over the past 4 years. We see SARS now having third-party data of over 5 million taxpayers. So the people who qualify are those that purely only have third-party data that needs to be inputted into a return, and SARS relieves them of the burden of submitting the return by actually pre-populating this return on their behalf, because SARS does collect the data from the employers, from the banks, medical aids, retirement funds, and the like, and they actually submit this return on their behalf because SARS has a 99.9% accuracy rate in terms of the third-party data. So if you know that you only have that type of third-party data, then you would qualify for the auto assessment, and this is limited to non-provisional taxpayers.
Yeah. So, and I'm reading here that even if you do receive, if you do get an auto assessment, you still should go and check that it's correct, right?
100%. So as much as the information has been verified by SARS, the burden still rests with the taxpayer to ensure that the information that's on that assessment is correct. Because if it comes to pass that, in fact, there was an under-declaration of some sort of income or over-deduction, it is the taxpayer that would still be liable for that penalty. So even if you do receive an auto-assessment, it is important to go back, go into your e-filing or your mobile app and verify that information. And if you find that it is incorrect, submit a return as any other ordinary taxpayer from the 15th of July.
That's some good information coming from there, right? But we're not talking about tax today. We're talking about this.
When have we heard about nose rings?
Especially this one. They call it the septum nose ring. What are some of the myths that you've heard about women that wear nose rings? Well, today I'm here to tell you about the septum piercing and what it says about you. So grab that popcorn and make sure you listen.
Let's quickly get into it. So what exactly is a septum piercing? Think of it as a bold centerpiece for your face. It's like the chandelier of facial piercings. It's elegant, yet impossible to miss. A septum piercing involves creating a small hole through the thin strip of skin in the center of your nose, known as the septum. It's the prime real estate of those who want to make a daring statement. This piercing has grown from its tribal roots to becoming a mainstream fashion trend. Imagine warriors and rebels now just with more glitter and less battle cries. That's what we're talking about. A septum piercing can mean different things to different people. For some, it screams rebellion and nonconformity. A nose way of saying, I do what I want. For others though, It's a badge of individuality and self-expression. It's like a billboard on your face advertising your unique style. Some view it as empowering. For others, it's a challenge to societal norms. And for some, they feel control over their own body when they're wearing a piece of jewelry right in the middle of their face. But ultimately, this piercing speaks volumes about the wearer's personality and values. It's a sign of confidence, creativity, and a willingness to break free from the constraints of mainstream beauty standards. So whether you choose to rock a subtle septum ring or a more extravagant piece of jewelry, your pierced septum is sure to turn heads and spark conversations wherever you go. If you've come far in this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now back to the video. Let's hop into our time machine and explore the history of septum piercings. In many tribal communities, septum piercings were more than just a fashion statement. Warriors would use them to look fierce, fitting bones, tusks, and other materials into their nose. Talk about taking decorating to a new level. Historically, these piercings symbolize toughness, dedication to religion, or even readiness for marriage. Who knew that a simple nose ring could have such a rich backstory? Let's fast forward to today. Septum piercings are everywhere in the pop culture. Celebs like Rihanna, Zoe Kravitz, Lady Gaga have been spotted wearing nose rings, proving that this piercing is the ultimate accessory to the bold and the beautiful. And now they are associated with youth rebellion and the punk subcultures. Basically, it's the cool kid of piercings. So whether it's rooted in traditions or simply wanting to hop on a new fashion trend, pierced septums have continued to be popular throughout the world and throughout the years. Thinking about getting a septum piercing? Here's a scoop. It's essential to choose a professional piercer who knows their stuff. Piercing yourself at home, let's just say it's a DIY project best left unattempted. Do not try that. After you've taken the plunge, follow your piercer's aftercare instructions religiously. Healing times vary, but patience is the key. And remember, always prioritize quality materials to avoid any nasty infections. So in conclusion, what does a septum piercing say about you? Forget the myths. It says you are bold. It says you are unique. It says you're not afraid to stand out. It's a symbol of rebellion for some, yes, individuality and empowerment. So whether you choose a subtle ring or an extravagant clicker, your septum piercing is sure to turn heads and start conversations.